Hey guys, welcome back. So I bought the cheapest skid steer that was supposed to be working on Facebook Marketplace that I could. It is a Bobcat 743. I believe it is a mid-80s model. It has a Kubota, what is it, V1702, I believe, V1702 engine, I think. The engine itself looks pretty good. We got a lot of goo down there. In general though, it seems to be pretty good. There is a battery tender in there. I have no electricity out here, so obviously that's not going to work. It's got oil, it needs to be changed, but it's got it. I have not started it in probably a month and a half, maybe a little more. It's been sitting out here, so let's see if it starts. First, gotta go get the seats. That's better. Homemade safety bar. It's good. And then the safety is bolted down. Always nice. Don't have to worry about that. He said the hour meter doesn't work. It shows 3,073 hours. He told me he didn't think it worked, but actually it works. So I'm guessing that this thing actually has 3,073 hours on it, which is really not much. The gas gauge does not work, so let's glow it. 20 seconds or so. Glow. Maybe 10, 15. Alright guys, I want to do an oil change on this. The oil in it looks pretty sludgy, so it was pretty cold last night, probably 50, maybe 40s. Let's see how it starts. Get the oil nice and hot, and then we'll change it. See what we got. Almost. There's no blow by at all. Nothing. That's good. Oh yeah. That's a nice rust color. I don't see any bubbles, which is good. 27. It's an odd size for a drain plug on this engine. Let me get an extension. It's not really very hot. Should have let it run longer. That's a lot of oil. All right, let's let that dribble out and bring you back when it's done. I don't know if you can see it. May 18th, 07, 6:03. Do you think it's actually been that long since it's had an oil change? We'll be more specific than the last filter. Let's see. Genuine Bobcat filter. We're going to use this stuff. Diesel T6 synthetic 10W30 Shell Rotella. Let me see if I can clean up at least some of this. Oh man, I'm never going to complain about a gas engine again, especially a gas non-construction vehicle engine again. Oh god, this is literally mud. At least there is no rust. I will say that. There's no rust. There's this convenient hole in the bottom of the floor that someone has cut. That definitely helps me. Alright, you get the idea. You don't need to watch me scrape mud. Slightly better. And that is what came out. Let me get rid of that and I'll bring you back. So, engine lube oil width filter, 9 quarts. I put 2 jugs in, which is 8 quarts, and looks to be on the higher side of full, so maybe up there towards the top marker. So I'm gonna leave it alone, and we'll run it like that for now. We have a couple orders of business. If you can see that, the sun's getting you. But yeah, that coolant has to come out. So I'm gonna work on getting this radiator cover off. I have a tube that fits the drain valve, and I have a bucket. So let's get to it. I suspect that this has not been opened in 20 or 30 years, maybe more than that. Just had to go a little bit more. So, there's some rust in there. It's coolant though. It's ethylene glycol. That's what the manual calls for. I already poked out the crust from inside the valve. Put that in the bucket, see what we get. I'm guessing this is not gonna wanna, it's not gonna wanna go. I mean, of course it wouldn't. It started to go. I pried on it, I sprayed it with some PB blaster. Man, that is really stuck. And I'm guessing that well, there's that. Well, we're obviously gonna have to replace that, right? Maybe I'll replace it with a standard kind of valve, drain valve. But first, let's try and get this valve out of here without breaking anything else. Yeah? Does that sound good? It's gonna strip. Will that unthread? Yeah, that'll unthread. Well, we have to get it out somehow. I have to replace all of this. And so I say I just unthread this coupling from the block and try and funnel, using this, the coolant into the bucket. It's gonna make a mess, but I don't think that can be avoided at this point. That don't look so good, does it? That's nice and rusty and brown. Yuck. Yeah, that was a mess, and it is pretty nasty, that coolant. Then we got to deal with the valve because I have to replace that before I can refill it, because I can't take it out once I fill it, otherwise all the coolant will come out, obviously. I have the hose out. I'm going to run a little bit of just hose water through it, and then we'll see what we can do about the valve. I'm going to change buckets, and I'm going to do that until it runs clear. While that's doing its thing, I am going to take this into the garage and put it in a vise and get a vice grips on this, see if I can separate these two. I'll reuse this fitting and then get a new petcock for the fitting. Alright, so here's where this ended up. This broke off of here. I broke it off so that I could get a socket on here, and I have this in a vise, and I got it off. Gotta clean it up, but I can reuse this. It's about a week later, and I have parts. I have new radiator hoses. I have a new thermostat. This is a 160-degree thermostat. I have a new drain valve, gaskets for the thermostat housing. Yeah, so let's get started. First things first, let's start by replacing this broken off mess with a new drain valve. Pretty. And that's the way it's supposed to work, not the way we saw it work. Just judging by what's in that and what's in the hole there, there's a lot of rust in the system. So let's run, I don't really want to run a really strong cleaner through it because I don't know what condition that radiator is in. I don't want that to start leaking. This is pretty mild stuff. It's citric acid, sodium citrate. I figure we run this through it for 15-20 minutes. We take the thermostat out, replace the hoses, and put it all back together, and then run that, drain it, and rinse it. So let's get to doing that. First things first, let's replace this drain valve so that we have a controlled way to drain the coolant. I'm going to put some Teflon tape on this before installation. Teflon tape should be good up to like 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So I really don't, 220 degrees Celsius, something like that. If this engine block gets to that temperature, there's bigger problems. So let's put this Teflon tape on, and then we will screw this back in. There's a 7/8. Let me go get a socket. All right, let's not get too overzealous. After all, this is an old machine with old parts, and things are liable to be ready to break. So, man, I don't know. I really don't know. This is a 1/2 inch ratchet. that's all I'm gonna do. I don't need to do any more than that. That's probably good enough. And this, well, I mean, we can always take this back apart. We're gonna drain the coolant again, so I don't know. I don't think I have to put the Teflon tape on this. We'll just see if this holds as is. All right, after I have this on, I'll bring you back. All tightened up, works good. So let's replace the radiator hoses now and get the thermostat out. Let's start with the easiest one first. This one, 5/16, that was right. All right, let's loosen this completely up and see how hard it is to get these hoses off of their couplers. Oh, yeah, right. Oh my God, we're gonna have to cut those off, I think. The other end of that hose is up in there. So if you can see it, it's up in there. So I really need to get this air filter out of the way. This screw is coming. What about the other one back here? That's hard to get to. Yeah, I think that'll come too. Yeah, that's coming. I got the hardest one. The hardest one is out. Now let's get that one. I'll bring you back once that one's out. Ooh, all right. This should now... Oh, it's got a tube. It says press to reset. Reset what? This tube is as hard as a rock. So I don't really know what that's doing. That's all that's holding us. Let me see if I can pry that off of there. So we're being held up by this thing. I don't know how this is held in. I don't know what this hose is for. But whatever it is, it needs to come off. So I can get to that coolant line. Executive decision, whatever this is, it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, so we're going to get rid of it. If I can get the thing in here. Got some of it. There we go. Out of here. There we go. Oopsie. Like it never happened. Wow. Okay, that's dirty. I guess we should probably check the air filter, don't you think? It's gonna be a little bit hard to film this, but up in there is the clamp, and I'm just gonna undo that and try and move that clamp down. And I don't think I'm even gonna bother with trying to pull this thing off. I'm just gonna get in there with a utility knife and slice it up until it falls off. So I'll bring you back once I have done that. There we go. That's good. That was easier. I just pulled down real hard and it started coming. So that was easier than expected, but man, look at what's in there. Yummy. So I just tried those two bolts. They are not coming, just like I suspected. They are steel into aluminum. I can try heating, but there's like wiring harnesses here. There's this hose. I think I have a replacement for that hose though. But yeah, I don't want to cook the wiring harness, and I'm not sure what else is in there. But maybe what I do is I spray it with PB Blaster and let that soak for a day or two or week. I really don't want to break this thing. Pulled that hose off. I managed to twist that hose off. I just twisted it hard and it came off, and well, it's about what I expected. I guess worst case scenario, actually, those are through holes. We probably can nut and bolt it if we snap it off, you know, drill it out and then nut and bolt it. While we're waiting for that, we have this other radiator hose to deal with. Same deal up on the other side. Instead of the air box, it's the hydraulics in the way. Let's see, it's, I can't even see it. It's up there. I wonder if I can do the same thing. I can get to the clamp. Maybe I just undo the clamp, lower it down, and then just give it a hard pull, and maybe it'll come down. Let's see if this one goes as easy as the other one. Oh, yes! Oh, look at that. Like butter. This should be a piece of cake, right? And we have no... That's a lot of rust. I'll clean up these clamps to replace them. Actually, these are not bad clamps. Maybe I'll try and reuse them. But, yeah, this should be easy. Pull that off. Oh, are we gonna have a mess? I think we are. Let me get a bucket. Literal rust bucket from the last time. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna catch, to be honest. Some. All right, well, caught most of it. Nice. All right. Yeah, this is the replacement hose. Let me clean up these hose clamps. All right, that upper one is on. Tightened it up. Now, let's do the lower one. Easy one. Save the easy one for last. All right, got that end. So that hose is done. That one came. That one's good. Oh, that one wants to snap. All right. I want to push my luck. I'm going to let the PB Blaster work a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not gonna push my luck. I don't want to be drilling. I know you probably want me to drill, but I don't. Rust. Not terrible though. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up these mating surfaces, put this whole thing back together without the thermostat, run some water through it, run it for about 5 minutes, just flush out whatever goo or surface rust is there. Then I'm going to run the cleaner through it for about 15 minutes, then put it back together with coolant. I see the temperature sensor down there. That's the water temperature sensor, which I guess is that thing right there. Wonder if we should replace that. I do not know if that works. So all this stuff seems to be aluminum. So that and the thermostat cover, it's all aluminum. So I'm going to shove a dirty rag down in there and then use a brass wheel to clean up these surfaces. Do that to the house or the cover. It's actually an old gasket on here. It is so old it kind of became part of the housing, so I need to scrape that off with a razor blade and I'll sand it up, bring you back. I won't bore you with showing you that. Huh, like factory. Alright, so we have a new gasket for this, 6732199, and that should go just like that. Perfect. I also took the liberty while you guys were not watching to clean up these bolts on the wire wheel, the bench grinder. So I guess that is going to go like that, right? Seems like it. All right, so we're just going to put this back together without the thermostat for now. And the gasket actually came in a 2-pack, so you know what? If we destroy this one, we have another one, but I think we'll be okay. So yeah, that seems fine. I'm gonna put the radiator hose back on, fill it with just water, run the engine for 5 minutes, and see what we get out of the plug. One additional thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out that overflow tank. So to do that, I gotta get this hose clamp off up here, and of course that is a different size. And now this, I think, is just resting in here. I don't think it's really being held by anything. Yeah. We got it. Can you see that? I don't know if you can, but we're right at the full cold mark, so we're not losing. I mean, I don't think that anybody's been putting coolant in this thing, you know, based on what came out of there. So I don't think we're losing any coolant through the head gasket, which is very good. It just hasn't been changed in 30 or 40 years. Oh yeah. Ooh. That is yummy. Think that was good for it? And look, we got a casualty. It's a wasp in there. You see in there? It is absolute mud at the bottom of that. Absolute mud. Alright, I gotta go clean that out. I cleaned it up best I could. There's still staining on it, but it's pretty clean. I temporarily hooked it back up because we're not installing it quite yet. We're going to flush the whole cooling system, and anything that ends up in this overflow container we're going to chuck. So let's go ahead and fill up the radiator with regular water and then start it, run it for a few minutes, and see what comes out. Sorry about the wind, but it's all filled up, and as far as I can tell, we don't have any leaks anywhere. Not yet, anyway. And funny enough, this valve sideways is open and straight is closed. That's the opposite of what I would expect. We ran for about 5 minutes. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, that's a nice shade. That is what came out. Yummy. I see a little bit of an oil slick in there, but I think that is from what's in the bucket already. The bucket was full of oil because if you remember when we originally flushed this thing, it was running through the belly pan, which is full of hydraulic oils. I'm going to spray this bucket out really good, get all the oil out of it, so next flush with the citric acid we can see what's really in the coolant. And here's what's left. You can see bees and stuff floating around in there. That's the combination of the overflow plus what we just flushed out. Now I'm going to dump this stuff in and do the same thing again. I'll bring you back and we'll take a look at what comes out. It's been 15 minutes or so with the cleaner. Let's see what we get. I cleaned out this bucket, so whatever goes in there should be relatively exactly what was in the engine. So, all right. Let's let that go. Yeah, more of what I expected. No oil in it though. That's good. It's better, but it's not good still. This is like the 4th flush with water, I think. And it's running pretty clear. I mean, not 100% clear, but pretty clear. I'm tired of flushing this. I want to just put it back together. Alright, that's clear enough. That's clear enough for me. Yeah, more than good enough. We are ready to install a new thermostat. This is a 160-degree thermostat. And then drop it in there. Yeah, seated. That's good. Put our gasket back. And where's the, yep, there's the top. Make sure we have no contaminants on the bottom. All right, that looks good. And now we'll just stick this like that. And that should be good. Now let's put our hose back. Yep, push that down all the way. There you go. Oh, we forgot something. The hose clamp. That's not gonna work, is it? Alright, now shove that down. Very good. Very strong. Alright, now we're gonna tighten that back up. Let's get this centered right there. Alright. Yep. Alright, that's enough. You don't want it too tight. It'll start skipping teeth. These hose clamps they'll start skipping teeth if you tighten it too tight. It's very easy to go too tight on those, and they'll start skipping teeth and grinding it up. So we don't want that. We just want it tight enough so that it will not come off anymore, which it will not. Good. Alright, so we got that in there. That's seated as it should be. The hose is run back up, and I gotta get the hose clamp and then we'll connect it. Alright, so we have Xerox diesel heavy duty antifreeze and distilled water. This is an ethylene glycol formulation. That's what the manual calls for. I know newer skid steers usually use polypropylene or some whatever that is, but this calls for ethylene glycol. So propylene glycol, that's what it is. Alright, so I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna pour in a gallon of this, a gallon of this, and then we'll mix up some you know, a gallon of 50-50. I poured in a gallon of distilled, and here's a gallon of the Xerox. We'll mix it in the machine. Oh yeah, there we go. It's supposed to take like 13 quarts, I think, so this will be 4 of distilled water, 4 of this, 8 quarts total. We just mixed up a batch of 50-50, didn't we? This is, what is this? It's half, what is it? Half what?
Gallon.
A half gallon of water and a half gallon of
Coolant.
That's right. Now you gotta wash down there in the hole. Oh, that's a little much, isn't it? Yeah, that's near the top. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start this and let it go through the system. Then we'll have to top it off. Okay? You want to start it?
Yep.
All right. You know how to do it? Hold on, let me get this funnel out of here first.
Yep, cap it.
All right, go ahead.
Where do I start it?
The key, right here. Yeah. All right, push it back down. Nice, all right, we're gonna top it off and then you'll start it again. I'm making a mess.
That's basically
Yeah,
all.
you want to start the engine again?
Yep, sure.
Nope, other way. That's a mess. It's all right.
How big of a mess?
Not too big. So this is the coolant overflow, and we're supposed to fill it up to this line right here. It says full cold. It's pretty cold, the engine, so we'll just stick that in there.
And add some more.
Yeah, we'll just add some of this until it's up to that line. That's about right. No, that's about the right level. Gonna start it up, see what it does.
Start it up.
Alright, so next order of business is this belt is falling apart, and we gotta get that off, so we gotta loosen this nut. 13 millimeter. That loosened up pretty good. We're gonna have to loosen that one. Yeah, it's not gonna want to move because that one's seized down there, of course. Well, this doesn't want to rotate, so I sprayed down the pivot nut and bolt. It's actually nut and bolt, and so I actually don't care if we break this off. Are we spinning the right way? No. Yeah, because it's a nut and bolt, we can replace it.
You sure? Because if you don't want to break it.
Oh man.
That thing's really bolted in there.
It really is.
Not even a drill can make it. Usually a drill would work, but this is impressive.
Alright, so we're just going to keep escalating. There.
Is it working?
See? It did.
There.
And look at that. Belt came right off. This video is getting kind of long. I'm going to end it here. I took the belt. We have to get a replacement belt. Ordered new air filter elements. this overflow tank. So all the coolant leaked out of it. There, the overflow tube, the radiator that goes in, there's a grommet up there in the bottom of the tank that's leaking. Had to order that. The next video we will continue with this Bobcat and finish all of that off, and we will get to greasing all the lube points. There is a whole bunch of them on this machine, so we'll do all of that. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this one, and be sure to, like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel out. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.